Air around us. We have learned in chapter 6 that all living things require air. But have you ever seen air? You might not have seen air, but surely you must have felt its presence in so many ways. You notice in it when the many ways you notice in it when the leaves of trees rustles or the cloths hanging on the line sway pages of an open book begin fluttering when the fan is switched on. The moving air makes it possible for you to fly your kite. Do you remember activity 3 in chapter 3, in which you separate the sand and sand dust by winnowing? Winnowing is a more effective in moving air. You may have noticed that during storms the wind blow at a very high speed. It may even uproot trees blow off the rooftops. Have you ever played with a fikri? Different types of fikri. Let us make a fikri of own following the instructions shown in figure 11.2. Hold a stick of the fikri and place it in different direction in an open areas. Making a simple fikri. Move it a little back and forth observations. What happens? Does the fikri rotate? What makes a fikri rotate? Moving air is not it. Have you seen a weathercock figure? It shows the direction in which the air is moving at the place. A weather cook. Is the air present everything around us? Close your first. What do you have in it? Nothing. Try the following activity to find out. Activity 2. Take a empty, open a bottle. It is a really empty or does it have something inside? Turn it upside down. Is something inside it now? Experiment white in the empty bottle. Now dip the open mouth of the bottle into the bucket filled with the water as shown figure 11.4. Observe the bottle. Does water enter the bottle? Now tilt the bottle slightly. Does the water now enter the bottle? Do you see the bubbles coming out of the bottle or hear any bubbly sound? Can you now guess what was in the bottle? Yes, you are right. It is a air that was present in the bottle. The bottle was not empty at all. In fact, it was filled completely with air even when you turn it upside down. That is why you notice that water does not enter the bottle when it pushed in an inverted position, as there was no space for air to escape. When the bottle was still there, the air was able to come out in the form of bubbles, and water filled up the empty space that the air has occupied. This activity shows that air occupies space. It fills all the space in the bottle. It is present everywhere around us. Air has no color and one can see through. It is a transparent. Our earth is surrounded by a thin layer of air. The layer extends up to many kilometers above the surface of the earth and is called atmosphere. As we move higher in the atmosphere, the air gets rare. Mountain carry oxygen cylinder with them. Now can you think mountains carry oxygen cylinder with them while climbing high mountains? What is air made up? Until the 18th century, people thought their air was just as a substance experiment have proved that it is a really not sure. Air is a mixture of many gases. What kind of mixture it is? Let us find out about some of the major components of the mixtures one by one. Water vapor. We have learned earlier that air contains water vapor. We also saw that when air comes in contact with a cool surface, it condenses and drop of water appear on the cool surface. The presence of water vapor in air is important of the water cycle in nature's oxygen activity. In the presence of your teachers, fix two small candle of the small length on arm. Glass tuber and candles. Air has oxygen. Stable light. Both the candles cover one of the candle with an inverted glass tumbler. Observe both the candles carefully. Do both the candles continue to burn or go off? You must have observed that the candle observed with a glass tumbler got extinguished after some time, whereas the other candles continue burning. What can be the reasons for these things about it? It seems that a candle's god exists because the component inside of the glass tumbler which support burning is limited. Most of the component is used up by the burning candles. However, the other candle is continue a supply of air. This component of air which support burning is known as oxygen. Nitrogen. In activity 3, did you observe that the air is still present in the glass bottle even after the candles blow out? This indicate the presence of some component in the air which does not support burning. The major part of air which does not support burning candle is nitrogen. Carbon dioxide. In a closed room, if there is some material that is burning, you may have felt suffocations. This is due to excess of carbon dioxide that may be accumulating in the room. As the burning continues, carbon dioxide makes up a small component of the air around us. Plants and animals consume oxygen for respirations and produce carbon dioxide. Plant animals matter and also consume oxygen on burning and produce mainly carbon dioxide and a few other gases. It is advisable not to burn dry leaves and discard remains to the crop which pollute our surrounding. Dust and smoke. The burnings of fuel also produce smoke. Smoke contains few gases and fine dust particles and is often harmful. That is why you see long chimneys in factories. This makes the harmful smoke and gases away from our nose, but bring it closer to the birds flying up in the sky. Dust particles are always present in air. Activity 4. Find sunny rooms in your school's homes. Close all the door and windows with certain pull down to the make them room dark. Now open the door or a windows facing the sun just a little in such a way that is allow sunlight to enter the room only through a slit. Look carefully at the incoming beam of sunlight. Do you see some tiny shining particles moving in the beam of sunlight? What are these particles? During winters you might have observed similar beam of sunlight filter through the trees in which dust particles appears to the dance merrily around. This show that air also contains dust particle. This presence of dust particle in air varies from time to time and from place to place. We inhale air when we breathe through our nostril. Fine hair and mucus are present inside the nose too. Bojo is asking you, why do you think the phenomena in figure 11.8 is wearing mask? Prevent dust particle from getting into the respiratory system. Do you recall begins called by your present when you breathe through your mouth? If you do that, harmful dust particle may enter your body. We may conclude then that air contains some gas, water vapor and dust particle. The gases in airs are mainly nitrogen, oxygen, small amount of carbon dioxide and many other gases. However, there may be some. Pahli want to know why the transparent glass of the windows, if not wiped off, regularly appears hazy. Bojo want to know why during an incident of fire one of advised to wrap a woolen blanket over a burning object.